Good afternoon to those who listen. It is December 4th, 2018, 12:56 p.m. I got this one right. All right. I've been having problems putting this video out, but we're going to try to do it again here. And I'll show you something at the end, too. And here we go. All right. So I was doing video earlier, and it just totally shut me down. And I'll show you that later. But for now, let's talk about this altar for the third temple, consecrated on Monday. They're they sent out invitations to 70 nations, which is another, there's a lot more than 70 nations, 70 countries. But they sent out invitations to 70 countries, and 70 is a significant number in Bible prophecy. And this is still the 70th year of Israel's, rebirth. And then they announced it yesterday. I was supposed to do this story yesterday, but I didn't feel good and things. I've been having lots of problems with my back. I just got a different chair. And, another thing I wanted to say, too, that on the other one that I said, we had some snow come in, and it wasn't much. Just a coating, but it came. I watched the weather, and it said it came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, these localized bands of snow suddenly appeared, and it's causing some snow for the next couple hours. Well, it's slowed down a lot, and it's still coming down though. But the thing that was weird about it, it was weird that it just came out of nowhere for one, and then the next thing is before. It was at 10:04 a.m., maybe 10:03, because it took me a minute to get to my phone. I woke up to sirens going off. I'm like, what in the world? And I went to my phone, and it said 10:04, so I'm saying it was either 10:04 or 10:03 that these sirens went off. And did anybody else hear any sirens go off today, like for tests? Supposedly it was a test drill for tornadoes. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's December 4th. It's snowing. It wasn't snowing at the time, but it's cold. It's 30 degrees, and they're having a test for tornado warnings. I just thought that was really strange. And the sirens lasted longer than they normally do. It went on. I don't even know how long it went on. It went on for probably, 8 minutes or something. It was weird. But anyway, anybody else hear these sirens going off? This morning, it was 10:04 Central Time for me, right around there. I just thought it was really strange that the sirens went off, and then suddenly this unexpected snow starts falling. Really crazy. Don't go outside. Anyway, all right, so let's move on to this altar. So they're planning on bringing these loose stones that they're going to use to build the altar for the third temple, and it's going to be used, as far as I know, it's going to be used for the animal sacrifices. I don't think they're going to do an animal sacrifice on Monday. It's not out of the question, but I don't think that'll happen. And the thing that I wanted to say about this, for one, and I'll have Paul Begley explain it better. He explains it really good. There's the altar is supposed to be 9 feet by 9 feet and 5 feet tall. And that's where they're supposed to perform these prayers and rituals and I believe the animal sacrifices. Here, let me go to Paul Begley. Oh, man, it's going to load again. I have all this stuff set up. Nothing but problems. Yeah. Well, at least it'll be at the beginning. And this from...
Are you serious? We have a prophecy alert. A prophecy alert. Well, in Israel, the Sanhedrin.
Now my screen is flashing. Actually, it's just the screen, the window for this video by Paul Begley.
Just sent out, of course, invitations to representatives of 70 nations. 70 nations to come to the Hanukkah dedication of the altar, a stone altar for the third temple. What? It's true. folks. I'm telling you, they're going to build the third temple, and it looks like it's going to even be sooner than I thought it was going to be. The Sanhedrin has released a declaration to the 70 nations to be read at a ceremony in Jerusalem on the last day of the holiday of Hanukkah.
Which is
the
Monday.
Ceremony will include the consecration of the stone altar prepared for use in the third temple. The declaration is intended as an invitation to the nations to participate in the temple and to receive its blessing. The altar is currently in the form of loose stones, loose stone blocks, ready to be transported to the Temple Mount and stored in a manner that will enable them to be transported and assembled at a moment's notice. When complete, the altar will be a square 9 feet on each side and 5 feet tall, and includes a ramp for the priests to ascend so that they can stand up there and perform the prayers over the altar. Matter of fact, the altar will be a square, the square 9 feet, so it's exactly 9 feet and 5 foot. The decision to prepare the blocks and all the details of their composition is the result of a long study performed by the members of the Sanhedrin in conjunction with the Temple Institute. Now, these stones
that's where I want to stop, but it's not going to let me again.
Vital.
There we go. Okay, I just texted up. But thank you for Paul Bagley for that. And I left the link in there in the description box for that. What happened? All right. So, what does this mean? I think it's just getting closer and closer to them being able to rebuild the third temple. Now, does the peace treaty have to be signed first before this happens? They said they can build this at a moment's notice. Well, if that's true, they sign the peace treaty the next day. Bam, it's ready to go. So, let me think where I'm going with this. Okay, so it's supposed to happen right before the midpoint of the tribulation. Are we in the tribulation now? I'm not sure. I think it's very possible that we could be with everything that's been happening. But if to be on the timeline for this, if now, okay, here's the if part of it. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I just want to just put it out there in case it does happen. On Monday, they're going to consecrate this altar. So it'll be ready. Let's see what happens with this, the backlash of this. I haven't seen anything about this in the regular mainstream news either. This was yesterday's news, and I'm behind on it. I was going to do it yesterday. But anyway, so if they happen to announce, make a declaration, a commandment to restore Israel and fix the streets and the city, that could start Daniel's 70 weeks. So we go over to Daniel 9:24. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring into everlasting righteousness and the seal of the vision and the prophecy and to anoint the most holy. And I need to go on to the next verse. I need more. What? Come on. Work with me. In the last video, I didn't have the Bible verse out there, and it took forever to get it going. All right. I believe it's the next one. Come on. Yes. No, for know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandments to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. So, if they happen to put this commandment out on Monday, that could be the start of the 70 weeks, Daniel's 70 weeks, meaning we'd have approximately 1 year and 4 months to the midpoint of the tribulation. And I know a lot of people are going to say right off the bat, and I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying it could happen. And, you know, I don't think they're going to make the announcement on Monday, but I'm just throwing that there because it reminded me of that. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I know there's going to be people saying, oh, nobody knows the day or the hour. But, you know, I think that the day and the hour is for the rapture. I think we are meant to know when at least part of the tribulation is happening, and the signs that are in there showing us time markers. So once we get to the midpoint of the tribulation, that's when I think maybe the pole shift happens, the big pole shift, and that's when the Antichrist is revealed and has to help save mankind from, you know, all the stuff that's happened. And I think that's when all that stuff happens. And then I think from the midpoint of the tribulation, when everything goes bad, the power is going to go out. You know, everything's going to be, a lot of things are going to be destroyed. Many people are going to be killed. And I think that's when, you know, when Planet X gets closer, the Earth speeds up, and then it stops, and then it slows down, and then it speeds up again. And we don't know the day or the hour because of that reason. And I don't know. That's just another one of my beliefs, my theories, my thoughts on that. But anyway, just saying, if this could turn into that. So there's the main part of this video. Now I'm going to do a little thing on what happened to me earlier, because it just cut out. I got to the point on this video. See, I did this before. It was at 11:47. Look how far it took me. Look how long it took me to get back to this point. So I was playing this, and then here's what happened. And also, too, the Sanhedrin invited 70 nations.
A prophecy alert. A prophecy alert. Well, in Israel, the Sanhedrin have just sent out a...
And then, boom, I just lost it. Now, if you look at this point, it was about 7:45, and then it kept going. It kept recording. I had completely lost my computer. It totally shut off. So obviously the internet was down, didn't have it. And when it happened, I got mad, and I was like, oh, my back was killing me. I'm taking a break. So it was off. It was completely off. I didn't turn it back on at all until later. And then I went back, and I'm looking at this, and I was like, wait a minute, that video was not 14 minutes long. No way. And then I found out it wasn't. It's just, it got cut off. So it was really strange. How can a video keep recording when there's no internet and the computer is completely shut down? So I thought that was really strange. What happened? Okay. There's one other thing I wanted to show you what happened in this thing, because it was doing some weird stuff. Mainly it was just showing the screen, and it still shows my logo down in the bottom right corner. And I don't want to fast forward it because then I'll miss the spot. It was near. Okay, here, right in here. All of a sudden it started doing weird stuff. Just showed like the Google, and then it did this. What is that? I don't know what that is. So I just thought it was really strange that it did this. So I never made this video public, because I thought it was just weird, and I didn't know if anybody would, you know, bother watching this stuff. And then it just went back to this. And then the whole rest of the video, it just shows either this screen or this screen with my logo in the middle, which or was it just this the whole way? Maybe it was just this the whole way. What happened? Why is it blurry up in the Google on the top? There it goes. Weird. All right, so I guess that was it for the rest of the one. So it was really strange. I just thought, why in the world, how in the world can it record for 7 more minutes? Well, it was almost 7 minutes, whatever. When when I'm not even online or even on at all. How does that happen? So that's another weird, strange thing that happened there. All right, so I'm going to do some more videos. So I'm going to do another video about Christmas songs. Yeah, you're going to love that one. And I'm going to do one on Bob's Burgers. There's some stuff that was in Bob's Burgers that I've just noticed this stuff all the time. It's like in so many. It's like in so many shows, movies, commercials. I see it all the time, especially commercials. Like almost every commercial now. Well, any commercial that has a sun in it, it's there. It's like, what's going on? They're trying to show us something. All right, so that was it for that. That was weird. I didn't know it was still going. All right, so stay tuned for those other videos, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys had any sirens going off for test drills in your area, or if you've had any sudden snow out of nowhere. And let me know what you think about this altar for the third temple. Is this possibly a precursor for Daniel's 70 weeks? Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. God bless.